one of the things when we first started having conversations that made me realize just how awesome of an asset you'd be for that is you have this really big interest in student loans in particular. And so you've talked about wealth generally speaking and the things that you hope it provides for you and for your family and for your future. But when it comes to student loans, you kind of have a particular interest. So what created that interest? Where did it come from? Like what's the background on your student loan kind of knowledge base, which is massive?
Well, it starts by I have a lot of them. So, it's really it's really interesting because people will say, "Oh, Alicia, you know so much about finance and money." And it's like, yes, but I also have debt and I am like very motivated to pay it off. I don't know what it is, but something about having debt and owing people something just doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it. And so, when I chose family medicine, I was like, shoot, I might get paid 200, maybe 220, 230 a year. And I have more than that in student loans. So it was like, I really need a student loan plan. This whole, like, maybe I'll pay it off, maybe I won't, like, that just was not an option for me. And so for me, I was like, okay, I need to learn about all of the student loan plans. I need to learn about all of the programs. And also, is there a way that I could get this forgiven and not have to pay it back myself? Let me learn all about those ways. And so in doing that, I, was reading a lot about the plans. I was talking to a lot of my friends about the plans. And what I realized is that you really needed to crunch the numbers. There were certain plans that seemed similar that had little nuances that I had to really delve into. There were certain situations that would make one plan better for one person versus another plan better for another person. And so I had to really learn what that is because I wanted to make sure I chose the right one. I recognized that if I chose the wrong plan, it could cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars extra in payments or in interest. And so it was like, oh shoot, I really need to get this right. And we'll talk about it in MDFU, but all my troubles with the public service loan forgiveness program and like calling the loan servicers and knowing more about my loans than they did and having to educate them while I was also on the phone. So it's been very interesting. But I will say through all of that, I've learned quite a bit about student loans.
I think student loans are one of those examples. There's a few things, I don't know, 5 or 10 things in personal finance where like if you make a mistake with them, it's going to cost you a very large 5-figure and possibly 6-figure number. And being in the wrong student loan plan is definitely one of them. Not getting disability insurance, and if you get it, getting the right kind, or getting denied, or I mean, there's just a certain number of things in personal finance that really cost you a massive amount of money if you don't get it right. And student loans is definitely one of those things. I can't tell you how many people, because there are websites that exist where you can refinance your loans, and obviously the big conflict for those websites. Right. And we have student loan, refinancing on the Physician Philosopher. And the big conflict is if they don't tell you that, like, hey, if you refinance, you can never go back. You can never have those loans forgiven. And you have these sites that like the only thing they tell you about is like the best interest rate you can get if you refinance right now. And it's like, yeah, but you just burned the bridge for public service loan forgiveness. And so, yeah, I completely agree with you that the need to figure that out and individualize it for you because it is different for everybody. I think that's, and it makes sense that the reason you started getting into that is because you had a lot of loans. I think that's how most of us learn about this stuff, right? I learned about it because I got hosed by a disability insurance agent, and now I know a lot about disability insurance, even though I never sell it and can't get it myself. Start before you're ready. Start by starting. Start now.